Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today is another cooking video and I'm going to be making a Gambian street food called Abala, and this Abala is made with some beans and of course stew on the side. Okay, so if you guys want to see how I make this, make sure you guys stay tuned and watch the rest of the video because you guys are absolutely gonna love this recipe. It is good and I made it with a twist. Okay. So to start, we are going to be starting with some beans, and I have the black eyed beans. These are both black eyed beans, but one has been cleaned a little bit and then it has been taken off the shell, and the other one is of course with the black eye itself. So if you don't have the one I have, you can go ahead and use the regular black eyed beans, but I have the already dried and peeled one. Okay. So that is how much I have in my bowl, and a little goes a long way because beans when soaked they do rise up and it can get a little too much for you. Yeah, I just put this in a bowl and I'm just gonna go ahead and wash it and soak it very quickly. So guys, as I'm washing it, you guys can see the shell that are in the beans itself, and I don't need those, so you want to make sure you take all that off. Even when you're using the regular black eye beans, you have to remove all the shell that it comes in. So that is what I'm doing right now. Make sure you clean this really good and remove all the shells and any black eye that could be in your beans. Look at all that. All that is shells that we don't need. So now my beans is a little bit clean. So now I'm gonna let it soak for a couple of hours, maybe like 3 to 4 hours before we start doing what we want to do. Okay, now it's been a couple of hours and I'm just gonna put my beans in a clean bowl because it's all clean and you guys can see the difference. It looks a little bit whiter than what it was. Okay guys, and I'm just gonna put it in my food processor. I'm gonna add a little bit of water because that helps the blending process easier. So as I'm blending, I am going to be adding a little bit of okay, you want it really smooth. So when it gets smooth, I'm just gonna transfer it in a clean bowl. And I'm just gonna keep doing the same process until I'm done blending all the beans. So now all my beans is blended and I'm just gonna go ahead and shift it a little bit because I want to remove all that excess water that I used when I was blending the beans. You don't need the excess water because if you leave the water there, it will mess up with your steaming process when you're cooking, steaming your beans. So you don't want the excess water. Remove as much water as you can. That is very important. So alright guys, so now I'm adding a little bit of salt to my beans. That is optional, but I just like everything to taste good even if I have to eat it by itself. So I'm adding a little bit of salt to it. Okay guys, so now it's time to wrap our beans in our foil. Okay, I went ahead and cut this foil into like square pieces so I can wrap like little individual pieces. So you want to put it in the center, a little bit to the side like I'm doing, and then you fold the other side and now you just want to secure the edges just so your beans don't come out while you're steaming it. So you put the beans in the center and just fold the sides. So that is what it looks like. Very, very easy. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same thing for the rest of the remaining beans, and we can start steaming. All right, guys, so this is what we have after we wrapped everything. And now we're going to move to the next step, which is to steam our foiled beans. And I'm using a double boiler method. I have water in my bottom pot, and then my steamer. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put all my wrapped foil inside the steamer. Now I'm using a wet cloth. This will help all the steam stay in the pot instead of how you steam and then the steam is releasing. That's not going to help the cooking process. So you want to use a wet cloth and just wrap it all over your pot so as to keep the steam inside. So while that is steaming, now I am going to go ahead and make my stew, because this is going to be steaming for 30 minutes, so we're going to use that time to make the stew at this point. Here are all the vegetables that I have. I'm going to be blending all these vegetables, and here I have my shrimp. This is optional, so this is a twist to this meal. You don't need a shrimp, but I love shrimp, and in my house my family loves shrimp, so I like to put shrimp in it. But it's optional, okay? I have some Maggi cubes and I have my black pepper. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the remaining vegetables. And of course I have some long peppers. I have some not habanero, this is bell peppers. It's like half bell peppers each. And I have some scallions. You definitely are gonna need scallions, so don't skip that part because the scallions have its own taste. Okay, I have some onions, both the sweet and the red onion. Okay, before I forget, I also have tomato paste and some red oil. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and blend the vegetables, and like I said, we're going to be blending all the vegetables at once. Okay, we're gonna blend all of them. I'm doing half because everything could not fit in my food processor, so I'm just gonna blend half and then blend half again. All right, we're gonna put that on the side, and now let's start cooking the stew. And I have my pot on my stove. I'm going to put a little bit of oil, just a tiny bit. Don't put a lot, because this oil is just to fry our shrimp, and that's about it. You don't even need to fry your shrimp. If you don't want to, you can put it at the end part of the stew, but I'm just going to fry mine. And I added a tiny bit of salt to it before I fry it. I'm going to fry for about 2 minutes, and I'm going to take it out. Okay, now I'm gonna add my red oil to the pot, and quickly you are going to add your blended ingredients. You don't want your red oil to get white, so as soon as you put the red oil in the pot, go ahead and put all your blended ingredients in, because we need the oil as red as it can be. Okay. So I'm gonna let that cook for a while And as you guys can see, the onions, they produce their own juice, they produce their own water, so I'm not even gonna add water to this. I'm gonna let this onion fry by itself. Now I'm adding some tomato paste. I added just a tablespoon and a half, 1.5 tablespoon. That's what I added. And I'm also gonna add my black pepper to it. You're gonna see me do that in a few minutes or in a minute. I'm adding some Maggi cubes. Like I said, I'm adding a little bit of black pepper to it. And now we're gonna let it fry and be stirring at the same time because you don't want, I don't want it to get burnt. I hate burnt food, so with this you have to keep stirring as it's frying. And as you guys can see, the water in the onion is getting dried up. Look how good it looks now. You can barely see any water but oil. And I'm just gonna let it fry like this. Stir and fry, stir and fry. By the way, like just an FYI, the longer you fry your onions, the better it tastes. So don't be in a hurry when you're cooking stew, don't be in a hurry. Fry your onions as long as possible, okay? Now I added my shrimp back into the pot, and I'm just gonna let it fry all up together, and this is going to be for about 5 minutes again. Look how good that looks. Oh my god, like the shrimp in the stew is amazing. You can eat this with rice. You don't even have to eat this with abala. You can eat this with rice. This itself is already like stew for rice. So I eat it with rice and I also eat it with abala. Whichever one you want to do is up to you. Yes, guys, it looks so good. And now we are pretty much done because the water is dried up, and I'm just gonna put it in a very clean bowl, and basically we are done with the stew. Now I'm gonna go back to my steamed beans because at this point it is done and I already took it off the steamer, and I'm just gonna go ahead and unwrap everything and just place it in another bowl. Basically, this is what it's supposed to look like by the time you're done. Look how beautiful that looks. It's like a square or triangle, no, not a rectangle or a square shape, but it's not perfect because it doesn't have to be perfect, but that is what it's supposed to look like by the time you're done. And yeah, guys, this is so good and I absolutely enjoyed it. If you are not Gambian and you have tried abala before, let me know in the comment section. And if you're Gambian and you love it, let me know in the comment section because I absolutely love abala. It is so good and I don't even joke with it. I remember being in Gambia, it was one of the best street foods that we used to eat. Abala, ebe, and olele. Yes. Yeah, guys, that is it, and I'm just gonna go ahead and give it a try. But let me tell you guys, with the shrimp, it's amazing. If you've never tried it with shrimp, go ahead and give it a try because you are absolutely gonna love it. Okay, but yeah, that is it for this video. If you enjoy watching it, make sure you guys like and subscribe to my channel, and I will definitely see you in my next one. Bye, guys.